And welcome back to the Crypto Hulk program. Got an interesting show lined up. I got a crypto that, let's say, might be kind of sketchy. I usually will tell you guys that if this is like a full out thumbs up Crypto Hulk, is this one we should look out for? We're going to go over it. It's brand new. It's not going to be established. That's what you get when something's really brand new. Now, it is mixed up with Tether, which is the biggest crypto business corporation in the world. Now, some people say, oh, Tether's a scam. Okay, have they ever been busted by the Justice Department? How many times have they been busted by? The answer would be like, no. So a lot of times when people will have our opinions, and that's fine. I have said before, Tether's been used to prop up Bitcoin. Tether can't get past regulations in the United Kingdom. Okay, but it doesn't mean anything illegal. It's one thing to say it. Oh, well, I say this. Okay, do you have evidence? No. Okay, shut the fuck up. I've never said Tether's illegal. I said it's very interesting how Tether will prop up Bitcoin. That's not illegal. If it was illegal, wouldn't the United States Justice Department shut it down in America? You'd think after, 10, 12 years. But again, where are all the prosecutions? There is none. So now it's just people, Tether's bad, Okay, well, I have no evidence of anything on Tether at all. So when I say Tether can't pass a United Kingdom verification test, I don't know if they've ever tried. I've never seen them pass it. So there you go. Crypto Hulk just using facts. If there are no facts, I don't say, oh, Tether's a scam. I can't say Tether's a scam. I don't have evidence for that. I don't. Nobody does yet. If the government has it, they're keeping it quiet. So if anybody has anything negative about Tether, it's just their opinion. And guess what? Everybody's got that, don't they? Now, what I see linked up to the world's biggest crypto company, Tether, is a crypto that's coming out of Africa. This is what I'm looking at as opportunity. So for some of you that want access to this, I'll show you what website to go to buy it. It is brand new. Let me repeat this. It is brand new. Let me repeat this. It is brand new. So it's not going to have all the liquidity and all these things everybody else. Because if it does, asshole, then it's not going to be 4 cents. Wow. All right. Look, if you want to go buy a car and you like a Ferrari and you don't want to pay $500,000, then you have to kind of maybe get a Korean fucking Hyundai or something like the Genesis 70 or 80 and fucking modify the fuck out of it and have somebody rebuild. You can't expect something that's brand new out of Africa to run just as perfect as like a Ferrari. It's not going to happen. It's a brand new company. And people are out there trying to pump ZK Sync and stuff, and I bought that shit just like that. Some stuff I've bought. Let me look at my Caleb and Brown shit, and I'll tell you some of the not sketchy, because they don't sell sketchy stuff. Let's look at Caleb and Brown. That's the sponsor to my channel. They are awesome. I'm a sellout to Caleb Brown. I told you, if I get a tequila sponsorship, I'm going to sell out to that tequila. All right, sketchy shit. Telcon and ZK Sync are two of my holdings that are kind of, you know what I'm saying? So I didn't dump a ton of money in. I dumped in maybe, $500 or something, and that's it. I'm not putting 2, 3, 4, 5, 10,000 into ZK Sync or Telcoin. Flare, I don't even think I got 1,000. Maybe got 1,000 into Flare or something, maybe 1,500. I don't know. Nothing fucking major. Now, XDC, Hedera, I've got G's in those 2. So, that's just my rationale. What is that, my phone? Back over here. Alright. So, let me look at my computer. Okay, so that's kinda that's kinda how I'm looking at this QDAC, and we're going to do that. Yeah, you got the ZK Sync for sale. Look, all the shit I buy or talk about is on Caleb Brown. This one, this QDAC thing, we're gonna go over the article. This is something that if you want to explore getting in early, Africa, which is ready to take off, then that would be something for you. If you're not comfortable with that, then don't fucking get it. It's that fucking easy. You don't need to bitch about it. Somebody says, "Oh my god, you're really not at the beach." Look, I'm 55 now as of like the other day, April 13th. So my fucking back is I've got back problems and neck problems, and I've been sitting on the floor for 5 years, and I'm done. So you've had a good 5-year run seeing Crypto Hulk sitting on the floor. I was like 50 when I started the show, and now I'm 55. And 5 years later, my fucking back. You'll see. Come at me when you're 55. Let me know how things are going. So yes, Moo Mao Babes one, Ma Babes one, Maui Babes one. Yeah, I start getting old. You'll see. You'll see. It won't be all funny, will it? Getting older. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sitting on a chair. It's a lazy boy because I'm a lazy boy. It's got this is a fucking nice chair. I've got an office now. This is a fucking office. I've got bottles of just nice alcohol here that I don't really drink. A lot of them are just display because that's what I think's cool. I like looking at a bottle of tequila that's worth I got it like 3 years ago. I don't know where I got it or if it was a gift, but it's worth like 500 bucks and shit. So I got cool shit here. That's what I like in my office. This is the office that I want. Soundproofing, acoustical sound paneling on the walls, brand new, nice. Everything's fucking nice. This is an office that Crypto Hawk likes. I've been doing this shit for 5 fucking years, and my ass is not sitting on the floor anymore. I want a real office in my house. Well, my rental house. Well, it's a house that I'm renting, but I love the backdrop. I designed this office just how I like it. Some people are like, "Oh, you need art paintings." No, just look. This is an office that I like. Now, I'm thinking about putting an assault rifle right there, but I got bills to pay off the next 2, 3 months. And I live in Nevada, and I can go over to like Bass Pro Shop or Shields and get me a fucking assault rifle. Whew, shit. So yeah, I'm gonna have all kinds of alcohol in here. And if I have friends over, I haven't had any over yet because I don't have any friends in Nevada. No, I'm not looking at making any. Um, then they can come over like my brother or something. Let's say, pick whatever you want, dude. Have a couple shots or something. If you want that fucking Grand Patron up there at 500 a bottle or whatever the fuck, just or my Macallan 18 right over there. I think I might have took one shot of that and that's it. I got that for Christmas. Mrs. Hulk gave me that for it was like $370 or something. All right, let's get back to business. First 5 people, Midwestern outdoor. Hold on a minute. I got to get a cough drop. It's cool having a desk. I feel like I'm doing a business here or something. Really, I am doing something important. I'm investigating. Hey, I sit at this desk, I'm sure 50 hours a week. All right. Midwestern Outdoor Boys, Brian Edwards, Randolph, Geo, AJ Singh. Those were the first 5 people here. We're going to get into an article today. A couple articles. Let's start off with the fucking Tether. See if I can find it. Where did it go? Here it is. Okay. This is an opportunity. Yeah, you can't get this crypto except at one website, and you got to buy Tether to buy it. My name's Crypto Hawk. I'm not a financial advisor, not a crypto advisor. I don't know anything about what I'm showing on this program. I just started learning about crypto last week. A monkey gives me advice, and I give the monkey bananas to give me financial advice, which I then feed to you. Before every show, I get really fucking high. I snort about 2 lines of cocaine, inject a little bit of heroin, pop a handful of e-pills, ecstasy, drink about 15,000 ounces of vodka. And if I need a little bit of a bump, then I'll snort a little bit of crank. We used to call it crank in the old days. Now it's called meth. All right. Zoltar. Oh, yep. Speaking of Zoltar, fuck yeah. Ta-da. I got my Zoltar nose. That's my fortune right there. Fucking Zoltar. You already know. Here's the back. That's Crypto Hulk's fortune. I love playing that Zoltar thing. You put in like $1, and that's my fortune right there. Okay. Quit distracting me. I got to go back to work. It's not time for show and tell right now. Crypto Hulk has to go to work. All right. Tether. Tether's kind of sketchy in my opinion. So let me just put that out there. Nothing illegal. I'm not going to tell you guys about illegal shit. All right. I've deep dived a lot of shit. I haven't deep dived Tether and all that. I will say this about Tether is that it's some kind of mysterious fucking thing. The company of Tether is in some kind of Bermuda or Caribbean office where there's like 2 parking spaces or something, and it's worth like $7 billion, and their office is like something I could afford. Like there's some going on. I think the government's mixed in and all that. But okay, I've not heard or found anything illegal with Tether. All right. So that's why I'm telling you about it. I'm not sitting here trying to peddle some illegal dumb shit. That's not what I do. What I'm showing you, I don't have evidence. Maybe they are doing illegal shit. I don't fucking know. So Tether is trying to work with poor countries and get them hooked up with crypto and wallets and all these things. So on the surface, it looks extremely legit. Okay. Tether and a company called QDAX, QUIDAX. They collaborate together to drive blockchain education in Africa. Sounds good to me so far, because I don't see a whole lot of people going to Africa. Africa, on the whole, from what I understand, which is very little about Africa, a lot of people are poor there. Now, there's probably a handful of rich, and those are all the whiteys controlling all the mines and shit. Anyhow, I'm not here for a social justice outreach program. QUIDAX at www.QUIDAX.io. Africa's leading crypto exchange has announced a strategic collaboration with Tether, the largest company in the digital asset industry. The collaboration aims to do what? Enhance blockchain education in Africa. Sounds good so far. By equipping users with knowledge about Bitcoin. I'll take care of that. Tether can teach the Africans about Bitcoin, and after Tether's done, I'll step in and give my little lesson, okay? and stablecoins starting in Nigeria and Ghana. Through this collaboration, QDEX and Tether aim to do the rest. QDEX has announced a collaboration with Tether, largest company, Africa, by equipping users Nigeria and Ghana. Tether aimed to empower over 15,000 people and businesses with the knowledge to leverage digital assets. They're trying to get crypto usage, understanding into Africa. So far, I'm not seeing an issue with it, okay? The collaboration will include financial literacy campaigns, thought leadership, head shrinkers, interactive workshops, and community engagement efforts designed to equip Africans with the knowledge to navigate the digital asset ecosystem safely and effectively. Okay. I'd sure like to know what they're teaching them, but like I'm saying, on the surface, this sounds very legitimate. With rising interest in digital assets across Africa, sounds good. Stablecoins like Tether provide a reliable way, so far, for people to store value and conduct business with ease. Collaborating with Tether allows us to bridge the knowledge gap and drive broader education of crypto in a way that benefits everyday people. With Africa emerging as a key player in the global crypto economy, this collaboration aligns with the region's growing demand for digital financial education. You know what? It seems very legit right now. At Tether, we're committed to fostering financial education and empowering communities with the tools they need to navigate the digital economy of Africa. With Ghana and Nigeria among the most prominent emerging markets, with QDEX, we aim to give individuals and business the knowledge to leverage digital assets consciously. By collaborating on financial education, we are laying a foundation for a more inclusive, accessible financial ecosystem. Okay, talks about QDEX a little bit here, talks about Tether. There's your article with that. Now, here's their actual place to get the token. Let's take a little looky-loo here. Justin, Steven, thank you very much. Thanks for all the deep dives and keeping us informed. Right on for that. It says one token to rule them all. It's QDAX, QUIDAX. I'm not going to go over this website. I looked through it earlier. They're kind of linked up with BNB and Doge. You know, you got to start somewhere, right? Now, from what I understand, the government of Nigeria and Ghana, they're pretty strict. What didn't they hold one of those Binance guys in jail or something like that? So I'm just saying, I don't know if I'd want to go to Nigeria, but because I know I'm going to offend somebody. That's a guaranteed. Virtual Escape says, have you heard any deep dives about Zebek Network? No, I have not. Okay, so here's the article on Tether. Here's another one. So I'm going to do a 2-for-1 on this. Now, Tether is going to deploy hash rate on Ocean, and they're going to advance decentralized Bitcoin mining infrastructure. One of the problems with Bitcoin is that I'm kind of being facetious or joking, but you got like 3 people running shit, okay? 3 mining pools or 4 or 5, whatever it is. There's not that many. And at the most, there's maybe 10. So that means you got like 10 guys running shit, okay? So that's not good for Bitcoin in the future. Tether. Here's an article from April 14th. Tether, the largest company in the digital asset industry, announced its intention to deploy both existing and future hash rate on Ocean. Ocean is a leading Bitcoin mining pool focused on decentralization, which Bitcoin needs, and launched by longtime Bitcoin developer Luke Dasher. Ocean empowers miners to build their own block templates using their open source, sounds pretty good so far, datum, that's DATUM protocol, reducing dependency on centralized intermediaries like Bitcoin's got right now, centralized intermediaries, and enhancing censorship resistance within the Bitcoin network. Tether's deployment leverages Ocean's datum gateway software designed to deliver high-performance mining operations even in bandwidth-constrained environments. I'm not seeing the shit taken over. What I'm seeing is it's definitely an improvement in what they've had with Bitcoin so far. Tether will roll out Ocean's datum gateway across its mining operations worldwide, including in rural and underserved areas such as parts of Africa, by enabling on-site generation of unique block templates and aggregating thousands of rig connections with low latency. Data ensures global competitiveness, there you go, while promoting geographic and operational diversity. They value open and censorship-resistant mining protocols. Now, Tether collaborated with QDAX. We already read this, QUIDAX, on a major crypto literacy initiative across Nigeria and other African nations, aimed at equipping millions with the tools to access and benefit from digital assets. So the African governments had to talk to these people. Tether's just not going in Africa doing all this shit. The government was well informed, explained it to, and the Securities Exchange Commission with Africa knows all about this, these different security exchanges in the different countries. And that's where you get the QDAX crypto. Let me check the comments here. Yeah, Snack Wrench says, didn't you say a while back that Tether would have to hook up with someone to get through the regulations? Yes, that's what I said. Tether itself, that's probably why they're hooking up with QDAC. From what I understand, QDAC has already been investigated by the Nigeria and Ghana SEC, Security Exchange Commission. So the Government Exchange Commission gives QDAC the thumbs up. And then that is a gateway where Tether joins with them to get shit done. See, Tether joins, I want you to understand, this isn't just Tether running around fucking crazy doing illegal shit, okay? Tether links up with a crypto exchange that's registered with the government's SEC, so it's all legit with their governments, okay? Tether comes in, works with them, says, hey, let's educate the Africans, which I don't have a problem with that. And they come in, and they're teaching them how to use crypto. What is crypto? Here's a wallet. Here's how you use it. They're teaching them how to do shit. Now, Tether and Bitcoin have its place. Somewhere in the whole scheme of things, they have their place. I don't know what that place is, but right now, Tether is helping to hook up people in Africa. And this crypto that's 4 cents, you know, maybe you put a portion of your earnings, like maybe somebody might want to throw $500 at it. They're 4 cents a piece. You get 20, 24 for $1. Maybe walk away with, I don't know how many of those, but that might be for somebody who wants to take a chance on something like that it's going to grow throughout Africa. If it takes off, and I'm just letting you know, a brand new project linking up with the world's biggest crypto company, Tether. Tether's going to make damn sure that this thing works, okay? Tether's all over this like flies on horse shit. Tether's not like, oh, we're going to help them and then walk away and desert them. No, Tether's going to be there watching these motherfuckers every day to make sure this thing grows and grows and grows. That's why Tether's worth like $5 billion or something like that, okay? So this would be something that would be interesting. Is it a little sketchy? Absolutely. Is it a 100% crypto Hulk thumbs up? No. This is one where you gamble. Like the Really Tech, okay? That sucker the next day went up like 15 times, did a 15x and all that stuff. This is maybe like I'd say it's more legitimate than a Really Tech, in my opinion. Really Tech's kind of like one of these kind of Solana, I don't know, fun dot, whatever it was, or pump dot fun or whatever. This one is, in my opinion, more legitimate than the pump dot fun, okay? Because you got governments involved in SECs, so it's legitimate. I'm not saying it's going to work. I'm just saying it's very legitimate. I understand what they're trying to do. I don't think it's all that impossible for them to educate the people of Africa. I think it's a very doable project. They're not trying to go to the moon and colonize Mars and shit. What is their project for this? Educate African people. Sounds pretty fucking reasonable to me. What are they going to do? Teach them about crypto, hook them up with wallets, get them to use probably Tether and Bitcoin. Okay, doesn't sound out of the world to me. So I just thought I'd report on that. It would be an interesting opportunity for somebody. All right. All righty then. Let us go. Where the fuck we at? 27 minutes? Okay. I think, let's do this. Finality. This is fucking huge. Whoop, whoop. I wish I had one of those alert alarms. I'll have to look for one of those on Amazon or something that sets off an alert. All right. Next article. Now, this is about whoop, whoop, whoop. Yelp. That's Yelp. I remember I used to work back in 93. I used to be a sheriff's deputy reserve. I was driving the car and doing it all. The deputy who worked with me sat to my right. He was like FTO, but I was just a reserve, so there was no FTO. But he would just say, dude, you're good. Just you drive and do whatever you got. It's like, I'll just have an easy day. So every Friday I'd work in the Bay Area. I worked at a sheriff's department. And every Friday I'd pull an 8-hour shift, 7 to 3. And I purposely worked in the bad areas so I get experience. And the cop that everybody would want to work with me because I'm a one-man show. Be driving, using the radio, approaching the cars, cuff them up, like whatever it took, you know. I wasn't that really knowledgeable on the penal code, so the deputy would have to tell me the exact code sections. But other than that, like, it was just, I want to work with the Crypto Hulk because this dude makes my job easy every day. So anyway, enough of that shit. Let's get back to work here. Copy and paste. Let's talk about finality. Caleb and Brown tomorrow on Wednesday. Caleb, I had to bump it up. I believe on Wednesday, tomorrow, 5:00 p.m., Caleb and Brown, I'm going to talk to them today and confirm. But they're going to be on the show. If you have questions about Caleb and Brown, tomorrow, ask your questions at 5:00 p.m., okay? Because I'm not getting all this Caleb and Brown question and answer right now. They're going to be on the show. Get up early, stay up late, ask your question. There you go. Call them up on the phone. You can do that. I don't work for them. I'm an affiliate of them. There's a difference. There's a difference. Legally, there's a big difference too. But let's get into, it's kind of a great company. If I was going to work for any kind of crypto company or something, they just seem like real people there, super friendly, and yeah, just a good company. All right. Finality. Oh my God. Finality launches. Here's what we got going. I told you what, 6 months ago, I don't hear anything about tokenization at all. Every once in a while, maybe once a month. Once a month, there's an article on tokenization. And how is it now? I could make a show 2 times a day, and tokenization is coming up. Everybody, they're tokenizing things. Why is that important? That's how we get rich. Global regulations and crypto tokenization. What is tokenization for brand new people? Okay, look, Bitcoin is a crypto, right? Okay, what backs Bitcoin? Answer, nothing. It's a rhetorical question. What backs Bitcoin? I don't expect anybody to answer. The answer is nothing. Okay, that's not good. Now, crypto, like a stablecoin, what backs a stablecoin is fiat money. Not my favorite thing, okay? But nonetheless, in a way, stablecoins are tokenized. They're the tokenization of fiat money. And they're supposed to, like Tether and all the others, let's say, if they say they have $1 billion worth of fiat, they really need to have it in the bank or somewhere stored. That's what they should have. Tokenization is when you take a real world thing, a stock, a bond, a house, a racehorse, a painting, whatever it might be. You take a real world thing, and if able to, you have a custodian protect it, and then you tokenize it, and it becomes a crypto where you can buy, sell, trade, and it's backed. You get it? It's a backed crypto, unlike Bitcoin. Now, what is going on with Finality? This is fucking huge. It's the same thing that's going on with BlackRock. BlackRock's like the biggest investment company in the world. They're worth like $12 trillion, okay? What we got going on with Finality is, see, Bitcoin, I'm sorry, BlackRock has BUIDL, B-U-I-D-L, and it's a tokenized fund using Ondo crypto, Axelar crypto, XRP crypto, and you can buy all those at Caleb Brown, my sponsor. But Finality has a fund, and it's a payments token. So they're tokenized payments. BlackRock's fund is more of an investment, a tokenized investment fund. This is payments, tokenized payments. Look, you're going to be able to tokenize every fucking thing you can imagine. I can tokenize my house, anything I want. I could tokenize fucking whatever, okay? That's what's going on here. They're tokenizing payments. Let's read for a little bit. Finality, F-N-A-L-T-Y. Now, Finality is made up of like who? The biggest banks of the world, okay? Just thought I'd put that out there. Finality International, the institutional settlement solution that uses tokenized central bank reserves, has announced its latest feature, the earmarking of funds. We also disclosed previously unpublicized details about a £20 million convertible loan note issued last year. The company is backed by 20, Finality is backed by 20 of the world's largest global financial institutions. Oh, damn. As an institutional level, if a securities transaction fails because of insufficient funds, that can sometimes trigger penalties. So what we're talking about here is this. Finality wants to clear trades. So I have some money or I have an asset, right? And you got something that I want. If we make a trade, it's all good, right? But if my end of the trade can't pay you, shit gets all fucked up, all right? What they're trying to do is utilize tokens for payment that are instant and atomic. So what atomic means, it talks about here in the, what paragraph? 4th paragraph, it talks about atomicity. atomicity. Okay, atomicity. I don't know who comes up with these fucking words. They're talking about atomic payments. That means I send you something, you send me something, and it happens at the same time. Okay, we can't have a system where I'm on a crypto and I can send you bullet fast payment, but then it takes you 3 days to send me what I wanted to buy from you. That shit ain't gonna work. Okay, so we need delivery versus payment. We need instant settlement. That's all 2 to 5 seconds. That's all Ripple and XDC. That's what this whole thing is talking about here. Tokenized payment, using tokenized payments, crypto, to pay atomically. That means like instantly. I send you some shit, I don't have to worry because I'm going to get mine. The same time I send you money is the same time I get what I pay you. That's what they're doing right here. Tokenizing. They're taking real world assets, tokenizing them. What do they call it? Central bank reserves. That's what they're tokenizing. Central bank reserves, and then sending money bullet fast. Okay. That's what we got going on here with the biggest companies. You've got Banco Santander involved in this. Ripple partner. Let me look through here again to jog my memory. Let's look here. If you look, I'm going to send you the Google artificial intelligence. Joshua Joseph, thank you very much for that tax-free donation. Appreciate that. Check some questions here. Okay, if you type in Finality Plus Partners on Google, here's what you find. Finality collaborates with partners like Broadridge, Adhera, and Onera. Okay, Broadridge, Adhera, and Onera. Let's explore that a little bit. Broadridge is using Corda. Oh, that's the XDC, everybody. That's R3. Corda, remember now, we're talking about a payment system. We're talking about tokens of real life things. We're not talking about XRP, although XRP is involved in this. When you have a token and you're trading for another token, real world things, that's where R3 Corda comes in with the XDC crypto. If we're talking money, I'm sending you $1,000, but you need it in pesos. So a conversion is done. If we're just dealing with just straight up money, that's Ripple XRP. If we're talking about converting a real world thing into a money or something, that's when we start getting into R3 Corda. That's for trading, stocks, bonds, foreign exchange, these kinds of things. So they're telling us Broadridge is using Corda for a distributed ledger. So that's R3 XDC crypto. Let me show you that evidence right here. R3. So that means you can go out and buy the XDC crypto on Caleb and Brown, because that thing is going to be 7 or 8 cents, and one day it's got to be at least 1,000 to 3,000 to 40,000 bucks. So if we look at this right here with R3, it says R3 Corda, there you go, is set to go DeFi with XDC digital currency. There you go. There's your proof. They're going to use that. Now, maybe they use other ones as well. That's why I said XDC might end up 80,000 bucks. But if they use this and they use the others, maybe it's only 1,000 to 3,000 bucks a piece. Okay. So it could be worth 80 grand, or maybe it could be worth 3,000 bucks. Either way, it sounds pretty fucking awesome to me. All right. So Broadridge is using Corda. Here's an article on Adhera, and they're using R3 Corda as well, which is the XDC crypto. Here's this article here. It was almost 2 years ago. R3 Adhera R3 and Adhara launch a new blockchain interoperability with Hyperledger. Oh, so now Hyperledger comes into this. Finality. Remember Finality? They're using 3 companies. They're using about 3, 4, 5 companies, but I'm showing you the connections of just 3 of them because I don't have time to just show all the connections. I think you get the point when you see 3 of the companies using R3 Corda. I don't need to keep showing that over and over again. So there you go. You've got the article here from Luminance. What's the title? Stellar IBM Partnership. If you scroll down, you see summary, overview, and you scroll down private networks via Hyperledger. What does it say? The Stellar Development Foundation joined the Hyperledger Foundation. So now we've got XRP, XLM, and XDC in this article here. And all of those you can get at Caleb and Brown, which are my sponsor. You can get institutional custody. That means no one's busting in there. If you got Caleb and Brown, you got bank grade crypto protection that nobody else has. That's the link right there for Caleb and Brown. 2,000 banks and financial institutions all around the world use Fireblocks. Caleb and Brown uses Fireblocks. What you do is you put your money and your crypto into Caleb and Brown. Fireblocks protects it just like they do with all the banks of the world. I'm protected by all the banks of the world. I got the same protection that BNY Mellon, BlackRock, whatever they use, I got the same. Are they using the little handheld ledgers? No. Are they using the Trezors? I sell them on my show. Are they using the Trezors and stuff, the banks and all that shit, Crypto Hulk? No. You are, but not the banks. See, I want the same protection that the banks have. So that's why Caleb and Brown and me are partners. All right. Joshua Joseph, thank you for that tax-free donation. Looks like it's weird. I'm losing control of the mouse. That usually happens when that. Yeah. Scrim de la Creme is right. When the mouse goes, the show goes. That's what I noticed. Like right before the show disappears, the mouse. And I was talking about Caleb Brown, huh? It always does that too when Caleb Brown comes up. Like I'm showing you about Caleb Brown and then I lose control of the mouse and then the show disappears. I'm like, well, it's some dick sucker at Google trying to fuck with the show. Butt hurt. Okay, so that is the article with Adhara and Stellar is all involved in this. Now, Onera. Onera is another partner of Finality utilizing tokenized payments. Here's Onera. Onera and R3 partner. There you go. So that's the XDC crypto. I want you to see that right there. Now, back in the day, Ripple and R3 were partners. And they both utilize each other's technology. I say this, Ripple's technology is built into R3. And when R3 left, they're still using it. And when Ripple and R3 split up, R3 fought like hell to get like 1 or 2 billion XRPs. They're not walk away without it. They wanted the XRPs that bad. So there's some kind of connection, and I don't know all of it, but there's all your connections with Finality, Adhara, Onera, and you got HQLAX in there and Interop. This is massive, totally massive. I gave you all 3 cryptos. All the 3X cryptos are involved in this, along with the world's top 20 banks. They're all involved. And not once did I see Bitcoin or Ethereum in there. All right, let me check the comments. And we got time for another 1 to 2 articles. Just keep accumulating the 3Xs and HBAR. If you want to know which one's 4 cents, you got to watch the show. And that's for show. All righty. Okay, no questions. Let's go on to the next article then. Stellar. Stellar right now gave about $130,000. You know, it doesn't seem like a lot. Somebody's trying to sell Zebek. Spydra is a company called Spydra, SPYDRA, and it lands $130,000 from Stellar to revolutionize regulated tokenization. So now I'm gonna stop for a minute. I'm not a complete ass kisser. Let's go over this title again. Now, Jed McCaleb runs Stellar. This guy sold off like $1 billion worth or more of Stellar over like when the Ripple trial was going on. This dude made like at least $1 billion with a B. I have a problem with this title. Spydra only gets $130,000 from Stellar. $130,000, really? And what are they going to do? Revolutionize regulated tokenization on Stellar. Seriously? How are you, Jed McCaleb? How are you? Unless there's some kind of sweatshop in India. How are you going to only pay $130,000 and you're going to have some company revolutionize tokenization shit on the Stellar blockchain? And you're only going to pay these people $100,000? I read that. I'm like, dude, you got me fucked up. I ain't doing shit for $130,000. I'm going to revolutionize what? And you're going to pay me how much? I'm like, fuck that. You probably get like 3 months worth of work out of me. That's about it. All right. Jed's banging Maxine. Oh my God, that's so disgusting. We got Stellar here. Let's read the article. I'm just going to read a little bit because that's not cool. If Spydra is going to revolutionize tokenization shit on the Stellar blockchain, you're only going to pay him $130,000? Fuck. That's not even worth reading the whole article. But let's find out what the fuck's going on. Well, this gives it away. Bangalore, India. Yep, so it's a little sweatshop. Spydra, the blockchain infrastructure leader specializing in real-world asset tokenization. So they specialize in it. They specialize. Just scored 130. Like, you can't even buy a Porsche Macan GTS. Maybe you could get a Porsche Macan GTS for 130. Maybe. But that's only, I'm going to keep going. No, I'm not going to comment anymore. They just scored 130,000 from the Stellar Community Fund, though through its Build Awards to bring institutional grade tokenization to the Stellar ecosystem for 130,000. Picture this: bonds, real estate, and equities streaming into decentralized finance. Secure, affordable, and regulator friendly. That's the future Spydra is chasing with a new regulated token standard on Stellar. Inspired by Ethereum's game-changing EIP 3643. Spydra already making waves. It's EIP. So they already made this. Spydra already made an Ethereum token for, open real-world assets IO, bridging traditional finance to Ethereum's Web3. Now backed by the SCF Build Awards, a program fueling Stellar's brightest innovators, Spydra is set to turbocharge the real-world asset revolution on Stellar. And you're only paying them $130,000. That is so fucking wrong. I'm sorry, it is. This isn't a minor tweak. It's a seismic shift. Modeled after the EIP 3643, Spidra's stellar standard blends efficiency with ironclad compliance. They're talking about real-world assets surging to 30 trillion by the year 2030. So in 5 years or less, this shit's going to be worth $30 trillion. And you're only paying those guys $130,000. That's fucked up. They're talking about 3 to 5 second transactions. Now, somebody would ask, well, why is it on Stellar? Because Stellar already has Ultra Stellar and Allbridge. Here's why they can use an Ethereum-based kind of crypto. Is right here. Here's the article I'm showing you. It's something called Allbridge. And Allbridge launch connects Stellar to Ethereum, Solana, Celo, and Polygon. So that's why it works, is because it's interoperable, because Stellar has something called Allbridge that acts as a bridge. Okay. Yeah, don't fuck with lobster wallets. Just letting you know. Bad news. So that's the end of that article there. Let me get into this real quick. How much time do we got? 5 minutes? Okay, 9 minutes. Let's talk about India. India. I'm going to tell you about India. We're going to talk a couple of minutes about India. Okay. It's called Phone Pay. Phone, P-H-O-N-E, capital P, and then letter E. It's all one word. Phone Pay rolls out UPI Circle for shared payments. Okay, this article shut me out. These Indian sites do this. Let me do a copy. And then a paste. Oh, are you serious? These little Indian fuckers. They're trying not to let me read the article. Okay, let me try it on my phone. Give me a second. Phone. Okay, now I get to read the article on my phone. Phone Pay, major announcement of the UPI Circle. Okay, what we got going on here? Okay, Phone Pay has something, is working with Circle and UPI, Universal Payments. And what this is, in India, a lot of times they're very poor. So you might have one family member that has a bank account and 9 other people that don't. You could link up 10 people to one bank account, and each person will have their separate account, but it all ends up at one bank account, so you can make payments and buy shit, okay? Phone Pay is helping them get all hooked up, and the Indian government is fine with this. UPI Circle. It's integrating UPI. It's not Circle, the crypto stablecoin. It's a circle of family members. I'm having a difficult time, so I'm just going to show you the evidence. Oh, I got it right here. These stupid assholes. Okay. Digital payments, major Phone Pay announced UPI Circle. With UPI Circle, users can create a group. I already told you, like 10 people. Now, what happened here is they hooked up with Amazon. It's like Amazon. The introduction of the feature by the National Payments Corporation of India last year Now, with apps like Amazon, and they're doing the same thing. Okay. Now, what's interesting is you have something called, let me show you, Google back. They talk about NPI, National Pay of India. That's a Ripple partner with Google. Let me show you this right here. This is all like Ripple and Google mixed in with India. Here's the evidence here. Google-backed payment company Ripple. Now, this article is from a while back, 8 years ago. 8 years ago, Google and Ripple have been working with National Payments Corporation of India. The article shows it here. Ripple has some help. Back then, you have Access Bank, and Yes Bank. Those were the first customers with Ripple. This is like 8 years ago. So now you got Ripple and Google so into the Indian payment scene of 8 years that now Phone Pay is involved in this. It mentioned Amazon, and that's interesting because Amazon is a Ripple partner. Here's your evidence here. And you can look at that article right there. It talks about Amazon Web Service partner Ripple. So I'm going to click out of that on my end. But yeah, you have Google-backed payment company Ripple is in talks with NPCI, that's National Payments Corporation of India. Ripple and all their tech is so in the Indian banking system. And even the biggest bank of India is a Ripple partner. Let's look at that right now. So this is in deep right here. HDFC Bank joins Ripple. Who is HDFC Bank? India's largest private bank. And that was years ago. So I just wanted to show you how payments and crypto and Google and Ripple are mixed into India with their 1 billion people or 1.3 billion population, which is like 3 times the size of the United States. So that's what's going on. I wanted to show you how Ripple and payments and Google are all integrated into helping. Notice how Ripple's involved in this. Wouldn't that be like a Stellar type thing? Now, I'd have to look up and see if Stellar is involved with NPCI. But since you're dealing with banks, that is kind of where Ripple would come in. Stellar is not really involved in all these banks. They're more involved in maybe private payment companies. But that's why we have a Ripple involved and not Stellar in this. It's because we're probably dealing with central banks and all that. And that's where Ripple's tied in. Ethereum's not tied in. Bitcoin's not tied in. None of that dumb shit. Okay. So with that, we're just about out of time. Let me check some comments. Zebek. I think that'll be a wrap. Yeah. Okay, that'll be it. I'm going to click out of these articles here. I'm going to try to work on a show. Oh, hold on. So we got Mojaloop, which is a crypto. This is popular in Africa and broke down countries that are poor. Look at this right here. You got Phone Pay right here. That's a Ripple partner right there. Phone Pay and Ripple join Mojaloop. I think Mojaloop has something to do with Bill Gates and shit and might have a Stellar connection. Let me take a look really quick right here. Hold on. I don't know if there's a Stellar connection to Mojaloop. But anyhow, what I wanted to show you was there is a connection to Mojaloop, Ripple, and Phone Pay because we were just going over that. So there's your connection to Ripple. It's all mixed up in that. That's why I went over that article with you. And I'm going to work on a show for 5 o'clock p.m. So that'll be in about 5 hours from now. If I'm able to come up with a show, it'll be about 5 o'clock today in 5 hours. I'm going to go eat some lunch and then come back and work on a show. You should see something around 2:30 to 3 o'clock p.m. Maybe I'll post one of the short little videos, let you know I'm working on it. It might be 6 p.m. I'm not sure, 5 or 6. It just depends if I can pull it together and all that. So if not, or whatever, I'll just see you on my next program.